Soul Garden.
Good day from my smartphone to yours. I'm Lovecasting in 5 dimensions from Costa Mesa, California, and this is your Thursday Namaste Today. Good day and Namaste. Welcome to Namaste Today. My name is Christopher Oteki. I am a psychic astrologer and the Sensei to Sirius Joy at your soul service. Thank you so much for logging into my web show. This episode is for Thursday, October 8th, 2015. And today we have reached step 15 of the month of Libra. But before I define into what that is exactly, let me first say Happy LoveFest Day. I love you. Today is the most powerful day of the month to give and receive love. It's an astrological citation I've noticed when the moon crosses in front of Venus, or you could say when the universe crosses two states of awareness. You have the I feel and the I receive crossing. And so it's kind of like God crossing two wires. And what do we end up happening? We get a jolt to love. And I've been doing this for over 10 years now, predicting astrology on the internet. And this is something that is guaranteed. You will feel some love today if you open up to it, my friends. And you might need to open up to it. And if you do, good. Open up to it and pass it on. Tell everyone you love that you love them. I think as light walkers, as light workers, as people who want to raise the vibration on the planet, we need a monthly, not yearly, monthly holiday where we amp up and spread the love. It's not even about credit. It's not even about leading to purchases like a Hallmark card. You know what I mean? It's just like, we need to amp up the love. It's so funny. One of the things I'll just say right now, it's amazing. You know, people always, there's little phases of people getting to know me. First of all, when they meet me in person, a lot of times they can't believe that this loving side of me is real. It is real. It's not always out. Sometimes I have a bad mood, you know, but when it's out, it's who I am. And I will tell them, I love you. And people are like, whoa, they can't take it at first. And that's really today's topic. Today's topic is staying in balance. And staying in balance really comes to the ability to receive. People don't receive well. How well can you receive a compliment? How well can you receive I love you? Can I look you in the eyes and tell you I love you? And can you let it fill your heart? And will it make you feel goofy? Can you hold it? Can we do it in person? Could I give you a hug? Would that freak you out? Like, that's where humankind is, unfortunately, you know? And trust me, there's times when people give me a hug and I'm overwhelmed. You know, it's like because I'm not open or ready to receive. A lot of times we want to stay in control, so we don't receive. You know, a lot of times we have false humility, where we'll pretend that we're not that. Like, oh, you're great at this. No, I'm not. It's like, to me, that's false humility. Your heart wants to take that compliment. You're not because you're wanting to appear not. I mean, look at all those mind games involved when really someone just wanted to give. And one other thing I'll just talk about on LoveFest Day, you know, and I say this to all my clients, because all my clients who come in and beginning a reading with me, they're all givers, they're all loving people, they're all light walkers, they're all light workers, and they all have a hard time actually taking love. They all pass it up. They give it all day long, they make money for it, but they pass it up when it comes. And it's for a variety of reasons. But I always say this to them, and I think it changes their opinion from that point forward. So I'm just going to give it out right now. And that is, when someone tries to give you a gift and you refuse it, it hurts them. It hurts the person trying to give it to you. They want to give you something. It'll make them feel good about themselves. And like, no. I'm not smart. No. I'm not talented. No. I'm not this. And you don't take the compliment because of false humility or your own wounds. Well, in all of that, I just want to say to you, you're hurting the other person. Because that might be the only thing they can do to give to you. I found that that's true with me. A lot of people want to sign up for my services and buy a reading. They don't have the money or whatever. And they have to say thank you or whatever. And you know what? I take that to heart, guys. I take that to heart. I understand that completely. And I want you to feel received. So receiving is not actually a selfish thing. It's a selfless thing. It's a selfless thing, for the Pope to sit there and receive person after person saying they love him. It's like he probably wants to play video games or something, right? So we all have that, and we all have these weird dynamics. And staying in balance comes down to your ability to actually receive. People fall out of balance because they have not received. They become lonely. They become creatively, starved for ideas. They lose touch with their heart, their inner child. They're no longer enjoy all that because you haven't eaten in a long time. And there is love food every day on the planet. These flowers behind me is God loving. I love flowers. This is a total excuse to have flowers in my life. I used to buy flowers when I worked in an office for myself, because I love flowers. It's God smiling. It's total love, like, hallelujah, right? Bringing that love in to yourself every day is important. So I've come up with a couple of questions I think you should ask yourself. And I like this little game that we've started together. So feel free to answer them on my website at soulgarden.tv. By the way, if you answer these questions, I may respond on soulgarden.tv. I have to not always respond on YouTube. I have to start pulling people back to my home. This has to do with a lot of things going on. So if you come on soulgarden.tv, I may respond to your questions and whatnot. But here's the first question. What do you base balance on? What do you base balance on? Do you base balance on how you're doing in the world? Do you base balance on inner guidance? That's the first question. Second question. Who's the judge of your balance? Who's judging it? Who? Who inside? What voice is judging your balance? And we'll go into that. And then lastly, when do you call the race of balance? So in other words, are you out of balance at the end of the day? Are you out of balance at the end of the month? Are you balanced at the end of the year, lifetime? At what point do you say, I'm in or out of balance? When do you officially count? Because, on a trampoline or on a balance beam, you know what I mean? Like, when are you in balance? It's moment to moment, right? In this moment, this moment I am, this moment I'm not. So where do you call the race? I'm going to answer the questions myself. What do I base balance on? I used to base balance on outer world. That's because I was born in a family. I was born in a family where I wanted to please them. But I think that was because in my past life, in my 40s, I wanted to please the outer world then. So I think I died wanting to please, and I was reborn wanting to please, okay? So I don't blame my family, but I definitely see that's where it started, where I wanted to please. And so from that point of pleasing others, that's what I based balance on my whole life. If I was in balance with them, I felt I was doing good, which is how I screwed with myself in my head because I could actually be, because I'm pretty talented, wonka, I could actually be really in balance in all these places, but be extremely out of balance inside. And because all of my official society factors said I was in balance, I guess I was, right? Or at least my mindset. So that ended up getting me in the hospital like 3 times as far as being way out of balance and full of shift. And I finally learned the hardest way that balance is based on the inside. So I now base it on the inner. If my inner world is balanced, I don't care. I can't care what the world thinks. I can only hope that if I'm balanced here, it will translate. That's my new motto. Who's the judge? Well, my mind used to be the judge of balance because my mind would be overanalyzing and, this smart-ass mouth of mine would be just as crazy on the inside of my head, constantly judging. My feelings definitely will judge my balance when I'm falling out of balance. It's like my feelings told me when I'd be out of balance, like, uh-oh, I think we've been bullshifting ourselves. Uh-oh, we're falling. Oh, no. So there's been those moments. But, I now know, I'm just going to say and cut to the chase. As the Sensei to Serious Joy, I will tell you, our heart is what must be the balance, is what must judge. So, Libras, right? Back and forth. And this is a message to all Libras out there, my gift to you, my friends. Libras balance, they judge balance from the outer world. They judge balance from the outer world either from their overall reputation or they do it from like them to somebody else. Like, but they're always basing it on something else. And there comes times that works for a long time. You can fly like an angel, you can do sorts of stuff, but this can be left out all the time if this isn't the epicenter of balance. So it's what your heart thinks you versus them. It's what your heart thinks you should do here. It's what your heart thinks is fair. And again, I think, like we may both be in jail together. Saying like, this is a sensei in training here in some ways. I'll be honest with you guys when I'm like, this is my theory and this is what I've proven. Well, I believe, as I'll say, this is my own vulnerability. I believe that if I stay in balance in my heart, my life will fall into balance. I'm working on it. I'm not so great at it yet, but I believe that's going to be the case with Libras too. I believe that our heart must be what we're weighing everything against. And I believe by the nature of God and the universe and law of attraction, all those things, that if you are in sync with your heart, you're in sync with the universe. All right, so that's all you have to worry about. We don't have to talk to people in a religion. We don't have to talk to people in anything. Just talk them into their own heart, and everything works automatically. All right, that's it, in my opinion. When does one call the race? Very good question. I think one calls the race at the end of the day. So it's like you can't go too far for that neighbor. You can't go too far for anyone else that throws you out of balance. If you're out of balance for more than a day, that's my new lesson for my mirage and my new mirage vows. That's too much. After a day, it's not going to work anymore. Like, if we can't stay in balance through the day, we're not meant to work out. I'm not meant to sit here and stay in balance for a living. I am a bull that lives on the land. I don't like the sea. You know what I mean? Like, I want stability. And you call it stubborn, I call it stable. But, at the end of the day. So I'm at a point now where I'm like, you know what? We just don't dance well together. And I'm a Pollock. I don't dance very well at all. I step on other people's feet. So the people I choose are actually people who can get out of the way, I think. I'm trying, though. So let's move on. We have to, for those who are in my personal Sensei network, which I will now call the serious players, those who are serious players, I'll be texting you some keys to staying in balance for yourself today, and some keys to understanding yourself as well. So look for those. And thank you for your patience. We've had some issues technologically in the last couple of days, and I have been going with the flow, trying to stay in balance. And without further ado, let's do a quick reading on the planets and what my higher self has to say for the day on LoveFest Day. I love you. Excuse me. I have to shift gears there pretty deep. So it's LoveFest Day, and I ask deeply, what is the core? Today they say Jupiter and Mars, which reminds me of the song When Jupiter and Mars Align. Oh, so interesting. And there is the sheet breaking in. And I'm back. We had a big gust of wind there. It is so windy in Southern California, and I use these sheets to kind of block away the setting sun. So we'll just look at that as the universe butting in their opinion there. And what I was talking about as I went in with my guides was that Mars and Jupiter are going to conjunct, and they're on countdown right now. Now today, Mars is at step 8, and so that means it's time to decide what reality will not be. So, we were talking about this. We might be weighing a couple sides, like, I could go this way, I could go that way. It's time to decide what you're not. That's because Mars is heading for Jupiter. We've heard that in the song Age of Aquarius when Mars and Jupiter collide, right? Or align, collide, same thing. This time in Virgo, that's our Mars, our male, our I am, our ego, aligning with our belief. So that's when male ego and belief, that's when things get really fiery, right? And get fired up. Now, the irony here is as Mars and Jupiter align, I don't know why, it's Mercury retrograde, forgive me, keep getting the lyrics wrong. We're in the Sun in Libra, we're in I receive, we're talking about what are we going to receive. So you can see we're literally, weighing getting pregnant right now with ourself, our own bullshit, our own stuff, our own mirage. And that's why it's really time to decide, who are you to yourself? How do you belong treating yourself? Okay? Because as of today, we are cutting away what we're not, and we're on countdown to really aligning our beliefs with our male spirit. And because we're in Libra, not only are we aligning our beliefs with our male spirit, we're going to catch that energy and allow it to be who we are, if that makes sense. So it's a very, very, very fertile time. It's good to hear all this on a LoveFest Day because things are juicy and balanced today, and I think people can hear this sort of information. Okay, so the other thing that comes up, this comes up a lot actually, and sometimes I don't think I'm saying it enough. It's like Spirit keeps saying to have people log into Spirit. Like, you must get quiet with yourself for like 15 minutes in the day in order to know what your higher self, just like I'm talking my higher self, wants done. And I don't know if it's like there's a version of us like up there on the Starship Enterprise talking to us sleeping right now. Like, that could be higher self. Like, damn it! Like watching the video game on the screen, like, what's that game? You know what I mean? Like, you see, like, we don't know, like, when we wake up out of this thing. But we definitely have a higher self. And it's networked to other beings and other intelligence. So this is a time with Neptune at step 7 where people are either in step with all their voices on the inside of them or they're not. You're either running out there and making decisions for your whole life, consulting the rest of you, or you're not. All right? And if you're not consulting the rest of you, then don't be upset when reality comes back with Swiss cheese kind of manifestations, things with holes in it. And the reason why they have holes in it is because you went out there unknowing of different things inside of you that wanted representation in that piece. So it's really just about getting quiet with yourself. People do it in different ways. I'd recommend doing it. You know, one of the reasons I'm so dedicated to this show is to give myself a ritual that I must stick and live up to. And I thought to myself in my industrious way, well, why don't I turn that into a business? You know, that's my Taurus in me. But like the point is like, you know, you can use this. You can every day after this show, you could take 10 minutes for yourself. You could. Just like I tell everyone who are my serious joiners that join my personal Sensei network, I say, every time you get a text message, you should put your left hand on your chest and ask yourself, how you doing? I think we have to rethread this conscious back through us. So what my guides were saying in many ways was listen to your guides. Listen to your higher self. So the last thing I want to put out there, this is a long show, but we're learning a lot right now, so it's good, is this LoveFest day is a step 0, Venus and Virgo. You must today, everyone, I'll be reminding you in my personal Sensei network as well, you must protect what you want to receive. If you want to receive water, you must get the glass, you must get the jug, you must get everything protected to get the water. If you want to get the love, if anything you want to receive, you must protect all the elements that are involved in the receiving of that. And you must hold those elements sacred. Sacred is nobody touches this but me. All right? Just like your heart has to be as well. All right. Anything else, guys? Nope, I think that's it. I've got a special Friday show coming up tomorrow, so be sure to check in for that. Also, be sure to visit me on my website at soulgarden.tv. And hey, if you don't know, you should follow me on Twitter, because I put out some interesting tweets now and then. That's at cwateki. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow with 24 with more. Remember on this LoveFest day to tell everyone you love that you love them. Remember that I love you, and live, love, be.
So